Welcome back to the show, everyone. Today we have Elvis joining us, a trader who recently tackled a FundYourFX challenge account. We will dive into his journey, the mindset he took to navigate the challenges, the lessons he learned along the way, and some practical insights for everyone looking to step into prop trading. Elvis, it's great to have you here. Let's start from the beginning now. How did your trading journey start and what led you to take the challenge?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So my trading journey initially started, I was just scavenging the internet because I was just looking for new potential side hustles, and I ran into trading. A trade copier, which I wanted to test, but I never got to that. And then I found Forex, a Forex trading group that provides signals. So I remember I joined the group, it was all going well, and after maybe 4 to 5 days, I had no idea, absolutely nothing about trading. And I remember I blew an account that I doubled in those 5 days, which I believe the initial deposit was like $100. It went up to 200, and then I blew it due to a mistaken trade. After that point, I decided to do some research on what trading exactly is. I learned some basics, and when I saw a signal that the group sent based on my trading knowledge that I learned, I did my analysis my own, and I thought to myself, wait, the things that I knew and learned as being in this group, this signal that they sent, it's a horrible signal. So I'm not actually going to take this one and see what happens. And lucky for me, I didn't take that signal, and that's when it sparked. I didn't take the signal, and I was right because it was a losing trade. So from then on, my trading journey began as I started to get deeper and deeper knowledge into trading, and up to a point where I decided to start trading prop firms because I did not want to burn my real money, as I saw many upsides to prop firm challenges.
Okay, amazing. How long had you been trading and learning, of course, before? No, we're going to delete that one. Again, how long had you been learning or trading before taking the challenge?
I believe it was like 3 or so months.
Okay.
I just learned the basics of trading and learned from a few mistakes along the way, and up to a point I just decided to, all right, let's try out a challenge.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about your experience with the challenge. Okay, I will ask you a couple of questions here. Can you walk us through your experience with FundYourFX challenge and what was, let's say, the hardest part for you, if it was something?
Well, I guess the hardest part was that, considering the fact that many other prop firms, what they do have is a daily drawdown limit, and the hardest part was that FundYourFX actually does not have a daily drawdown limit, and you can trade as much as you want up till you hit the max drawdown. For me as a trader, the psychology was kind of difficult to not overtrade the same day as I take my profits and I leave. And as badly as I wanted to trade even more, knowing that there is no daily drawdown limit, I did not trade, and I held my composure.
Okay, that's good. You sound like a disciplined trader. We're gonna go down to your trading strategy and mindset in a while. Did you acquire a specific way of thinking? Did you adjust your mindset into the challenge account after you saw there is no daily drawdown with FundYourFX?
Basically kept like a mental barrier in my mind, knowing that if I do go, for example, over a 2% loss on a day, I was mentally telling myself that okay, if I breach that, basically the account is gone, because then I know I'm going to let my emotions run loose and I'm just gonna lose the account the same day. So I just kept repeating to myself, if I go under a bigger drawdown, more than 2% on a day, that's it, the account is gone.
Okay. So you follow that, pretty much what I wanted to ask you right now. You follow the specific trading plan and you stuck to your rules despite the fact that at FundYourFX there is no drawdown challenge. There is no drawdown limit.
Exactly.
That's great. What rules or what risk parameters did you find the most difficult to manage?
To be honest,
Beside the let's say 10% overall drawdown, because I think that's a good thing for traders. Specifically, if you can point out a rule or a risk parameter you find it most difficult to manage.
well, since I'm more of a swing trader type of trader, the fact that I'm not able to close my trade if it's 5 minutes prior and 5 minutes after high impact news. So that was a little bit of a challenge, because whether, let's say, I'm in a trade and I'm up in profit and I have enough breathing room to hold the trade over news, and if, for example, the news goes into my direction, I get more and more profit, I'm not able to close the trade. And the same goes if the news is opposite and my enough breathing room is there, so I'm just basically blowing my profits away just because I'm not able to close my trades.
Okay. You said you are a swing trader.
Yes, correct.
Which time frames do you use to place trades and which time frames do you use to do your analysis?
Well, I usually like doing a top-down analysis. I go weekly, daily, and 4-hour, and my execution time frame is the 15-minute one.
Okay. Any reason you go through the weekly and then the daily and then the 4-hour chart?
Because I can see the bias. If, for example, I can see that the weekly is trending bullish and that the daily is showing how is it called, the bearish signs, well, then I don't take any trades no matter the time frame. And if I see, for example, we're at a key level, getting up close to a key level on the daily time frame, and I can see that the 4-hour trend is starting to reverse, then I'm going to look for trade opportunities and just entries and execution on the 15-minute time frame.
That's great. During the challenge, what markets did you focus on and why, if there is any specific reason?
Mainly gold and Forex. I trade gold and Euro USD and GBP USD because they provide enough liquidity and volatility for me to be able to look for trading opportunities.
And how many trades can you find throughout the week or a day?
Well, this is a tricky question because it depends on the market, because I don't influence the market influences itself, and I just look for opportunities when they are there. If they aren't there, well, then I take no trades.
Okay, so based on that, what are the key factors you're looking to before you entering any trade?
Confirmation, daily, weekly, and the 4-hour to align in the exact trade direction, or just to put it in short, 3 overall different time frames aligning in the same direction, the high time frames. If not, if there's only 2 or 1, then I don't see any trading opportunities.
And for how long can you sit without any trading opportunities? On average, do you find it, let's say, hard to find opportunities throughout the day? Some days maybe, or let's say, usually, how many trades do you place per week? Just on average.
Well, that depends. As I said, since I'm more of a swing trading guy, that all depends. In a week, I could take like 4 to 5 trades, or maybe potentially even 6.
Okay. Do you have any rules on how to managing your risk when you trading with a funded challenge?
Managing my risk, I don't usually like using a take profit. What I do is I just manage my stop loss by keeping it trailing. If, let's say, I also don't close a partial position, so I get into a trade, and as it climbs up into profit, I'm going to trail my stop loss in profit.
That's amazing. Do you have any criteria, like if the trade, let's say you bought and the trade is going up, do you have any certain criteria? If it hits 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, you're going to close the trade, or you just keep trailing the stop loss?
Well, I keep trailing it only because I don't use take profit. So the only thing what I can do is I can just manage my stop loss, since I don't have a set direction on where I want to exit out the trade. And if a trade gets hit stop loss, then it's okay. I don't panic, because I did follow my rules and I followed my plan, and everything went into motion. Sometimes it does happen where I do get wicked out, for example with my trailing stop loss, and the trade continues to go up, but it is what it is, basically.
You sound very disciplined trader.
Thank you.
When you experience significant losses or drawdowns, what do you do to keep yourself grounded and not go over the fence?
Well, knowing the fact that trading is a probability game and you're not always going to be right, you will have those losing streaks, but you just have to take them. If you're in a significant loss, for example, if I'm negative on the week 5%, okay, then I'm not looking to take any more trades. That's it. I'll just take the lesson on the week. I'll analyze my trade, see what went wrong and what did I do wrong, and then prepare for the next week upcoming.
How much do you risk per trade?
Depends which asset I'm trading. If the trade is valid, then it's I don't like using the term A++ or the A+ setups. So if I'm confident in the trade, I would sometimes risk 2%. If my stop loss is lesser, then I'll try to go for a bigger position, knowing that my risk would be the same, and I just basically manage my positioning size based on my stop loss.
Okay. Will be times that you're gonna risk, let's say, 0.5% and then 1%. Or that's too low, too little for you?
Well, it all depends, because sometimes I do also take trades too early, but in those situations what I do is I put in lower positions, and if I see that my trade is currently going into drawdown and that the trade ID is still valid, I will top up with more positions. For example, I go 0.1% and it's still holding structure and everything else, so I will put on top another 1.5% trade. So I just scale in.
That's very good. That's very good. Although we don't see a lot of traders pyramiding positions as scaling up, because it requires a lot of not only discipline but also the mental skills to do that. Not just be able to put the positions, just to be able to manage mentally the positions. But good on you. That's great. I'm sure many of the viewers now are excited by what they hear. Let's talk a little bit about your habits and your trading psychology. What habits helped you stay consistent throughout the challenge?
Well, I'm the type of person who just takes time for myself. I like doing meditation, I like doing journaling, and I like doing gratitude as well. That keeps me, that I keep in mind every single day. For example, I'm grateful because I'm a great and disciplined trader, and I'm mentally telling that to myself as I write it down. And that's the thing that helps me stay focused through the entire trading journey that I'm on.
Wow. Well done. Well done. So, guys, you listen to that. Meditation really works. Journaling. How important is journaling for you, and how journaling helped you?
Journaling for me is basically like a mirror. I see what type of person I am currently, and then I acknowledge what type of person I need to become, for example, for the next week. Because this week, let's say I took too many trades, and that's why I'm negative on the week. I look at journaling as a mirror on what I did this week, and then telling myself what type of person do I need to be to stay in profit on the week and not go over the, let's say, previous week's losses that I took.
Wow. How do you keep your emotions under control when things get a bit tough, either during trading or afterwards?
Well, this is why I prefer to be a swing trader, because for me, scalpers or just people who like to get in and get out, keeping my psychology intact as I'm a swing trader. I know that the trade is going to take a while, for example, to go into the direction that I want, and I just put in the trade, my stop loss is in place, and then I just go do my other stuff, not to look at the charts for too long, because that's the biggest mistake that messes with people's psychology. As you keep staring at the chart, as in your mind, your subconscious is telling you, oh look, another opportunity, another opportunity, another opportunity, take it, and this builds the over trading scenario where you overtrade, take too many trades, and then take losses.
That's exactly what happens. What was the biggest lesson you learned from the challenge, either about yourself or about the markets?
Well, the biggest lesson was that FundYourFX requires a lot of discipline, to be super disciplined to actually achieve greatness in trading. As I said, the fact that they don't have a daily drawdown limit, you just need to be super patient and super disciplined the entire time to not take too many losses or take bigger positions, over leverage, and just over risk overall. That was the lesson that told me, okay, I actually don't do one of those, and I don't want to see myself doing none of those.
That's true. If you could go back and redo, let's say, the challenge, or you get one more challenge, would you change something?
Not exactly, because the strategy and the plan that I have right now, it's working, and I'm happy it's working, and there's nothing that I could change about it.
Great. Let's get into some fun questions now. Are you ready?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you a few things.
Okay.
The first one is very standard. Just name one trade you will never forget.
Oh, this is a good one, though. I remember this was my first trade ever with my own analysis that I took, because I remember for a few days I was contemplating a lot. Am I ready? Am I not? Can I actually take this? And at one point I just took the trade. It was a super small position. I think it was a super small position, and I did take a loss on that. But after that, my emotions were like, holy shit, I actually took the trade. I took it on my own without any signals or whatsoever. Who cares that this was a loss? But I had the confidence in me to actually take it and press the button.
Nice. What's your biggest trading strength right now?
My biggest one is discipline.
Amazing, amazing. It's something that, I'm trading for the last 10 years now. I've been a coach for about 4 years, and I've coached hundreds and hundreds of people. And because we've done some sessions together, that most of the people's weakness is discipline, but discipline is your strength. So well done.
Thank you.
What's your biggest weakness right now that you want to improve?
I guess more patience. Maybe if I had more patience, I wouldn't need to be taking those my scaling plan that I have, where I go a lower position. I enter the market with a lower position, and if the market does not go into drawdown, then I go into profit with a very, very small position. So if I had more patience or more confidence, I could go bigger position size, knowing the trade, and I wouldn't be missing out on money from the market.
Great. What's the one thing you wish all new traders understand?
That trading is a long path, and they do need to understand the fact that at the beginning in your trading journey, the one thing that you shouldn't be doing is focusing on the money, and everything that you see on Instagram and just overall social media, where people are flexing cars, buying houses, and just having a good life, they do need to take into consideration the harsh reality of trading, that it is so painful. You will get stabbed so many times by the market. It will hurt so badly that you're going to cry, contemplate yourself, lose your confidence, and because you might be trading a strategy, especially in the beginning, you might find a strategy that's been working for let's say 1 to 2 days. Okay, you're in profit, and you take 1 or 2 losses over 2 days. You start changing your strategies, like, this doesn't work. And the most important part is that don't believe any strategies you see on the internet or whatsoever promising you 100% win rate strategies, because those are non-existent.
Thanks for sharing that. And so just to finish this great episode, I'm very, very happy that you were on this episode, because you shared a lot of wisdom. Everybody who listens this episode understand that you went through a lot of training and you have a very good understanding of the markets and your personality. That's a more directly personal questions. Where do you want to take your trading next? Like funded accounts, scaling? You want to become a full-time trader if you are not?
Well, being a full-time trader, I would not want to be that, only due to the fact that trading is such an emotionally exhausting game, where I would not want to suffer with that every single day. So okay. I just prefer scaling my accounts or bigger funded accounts.
That's great. Many people, they have a dream to be a full-time traders, but they don't understand that trading doesn't require to be like 8 hours and 10 hours a day, like a normal job, correct?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Well, another thing that people have a misconception about trading, that they say, for example, they have a $10,000 or a $5,000 funded account, and they get 3 or 5% in a month, for example, and that is too low for them, when the problem there is it's not the percentage, it's the capital that you have. So I believe this is why FundYourFX is a good platform exactly for that. The fact that it's not the percentage problem, it's the capital. Because if you have a $10,000 account, 4% is just what, 400. But if you had, let's say, a 100,000 or a 200,000 account, a funded one, then that's 4,000 or $8,000 up in 4%.
That's true. That's true. So, thank you so much, Elvis, for sharing your story and giving us a look behind the scenes of your FundYourFX challenge. Now, for everyone listening, I hope this episode gave you real insight into what it takes to trade a prop firm challenge successfully, guys. And don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share this episode with traders who want to learn from real experiences. Until next time, stay disciplined as well, trade smart, and keep pushing forward.
It was a pleasure being here.